Welcome to our review of The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This is our review mini game. We made a point system. 20 points are available. I'm going to ask these guys 6 questions. They're going to grade the film. So, Doug, you go first. Was the story compelling?
You'll be surprised by this, but yes, it was if you watch this as a stand-alone story. Don't go in knowing what's going on in Dracula. This is supposed to be a prequel to Bram Stoker's Dracula. If you don't look at it that way and look at it as a standalone story, it was compelling and I liked it. I'll give it 1 point for that.
I too found this to be a compelling story. Bram Stoker Dracula is one of my favorite films. I love watching that. So I was really intrigued knowing about how they were going to turn a chapter from a book into a movie. I found the characters compelling. I found the story pretty good. It did have some flaws, but I think overall, I'll give it a point on it. It was done well.
Ooh, I noticed some flaws about halfway through the movie that kind of took me out of the film. I think that kind of hurt my perception of it and my movie experience. So I'm going to give it a 0 on this category. Up next is character design. Did Dracula look convincing, frightening, cool?
I didn't hate it, didn't like it. We've seen so many different styles of vampires throughout the years, so really wasn't much different. Without giving too much away, it did have a Nosferatu feel to it, which was kind of retro, kind of cool. There was some CGI that was a little bit weak, but at no point was I frightened by it, so I'm gonna have to take that point away from it. Sorry.
We've seen a lot of different versions of Dracula over the years. The famous one is the Bela Lugosi look. Bram Stoker's Dracula introduces Dracula to be able to shapeshift and become a wolf or a bat or a mist or whatever he wants to be. So I was curious on what they were going to make him look like in this one. And as Doug mentioned, that he did kind of look Nosferatu, which is like my least favorite vampire. I thought he looked really cool in some scenes, and then I thought it looked kind of not so good in other scenes. And I can't give it a point because I think it would have been better had they not CG'd and actually had like a human in makeup. I think it would have added a lot more to the scary factor. So I gotta go 0 on that one.
While I agree practical effects would have made certain scenes, especially close-ups of the face, much better and scarier, there were some scenes where I was really creeped out when he was in the shadows on the ship deck. I really liked the look of Dracula. I just think maybe they showed too much. Dial it back 20%, it would have been perfect. But character design, I'm still going to give it a point here, even though some of the CGI did hurt the fear factor. Up next, was the movie able to make you care about the characters? What do you think?
I cared about the characters. If you watch our review on the entire movie, you'll see there was one character that kind of bugged me more than the rest, but I did. When something happened and the thing happened and I was like, that happened, that's not good. I cared about the characters. Most of the characters had certain little cool quirks about them, characters from different lands and everything like that. So yeah, I cared about the characters. They did a good job about that. I thought the acting was great. So yeah, I'll give it a point.
I'll give it a point too. I thought there were some very compelling characters there. Clemens' story was good. The first mate was kind of I can't use the appropriate word, but even him, he played his role good. So there was a lot of compelling characters there. So I'll go ahead and give it a point on that one too.
Yeah, this movie makes you feel their pain. I liked all but 2 characters, and I'm going to give it a point. Category 4. Was the movie scary? Did it have tension?
Well, no. 0.
Did it have tension? It could have. There were areas where I think there was some tension in there, wondering what's going to happen to this character or what's going to happen to this character. But Please Don't Crawl was a little tense for me. I thought he was going to start crawling across the deck. But overall, I don't think there was a whole lot of it because I knew the story of the Demeter and I knew what was kind of going to happen. So it kind of loses a little bit of tension that way. So I'm going to go 0 on that one.
Yes, I also had an idea of what was going to happen, and that took away nearly all the tension. I turned out to not be completely right. However, this movie had lots of atmosphere, but for some reason, there just wasn't a lot of tension. There were good kills, very grotesque, brutal kills, but I just didn't feel the tension. So I don't know why that is, but I gotta knock it here. Category 5, boredom factor. Did this movie put you to sleep? Did it have any pacing issues, or were you engaged the whole time?
All right, so I will say I did not get bored in this movie. I don't think it had too many pacing issues. We did talk about plot holes in our other video. I did say it was a compelling story, but I had issues with the story because I did go in expecting a true prequel to Bram Stoker's Dracula. That took me out. So I wasn't bored. There weren't any pacing issues or anything like that. But at the same point, I was not engaged. I don't know, can I give it a half point or 2/3? Or I would have to go 0.
No, I wasn't bored with this. I thought that the pacing was really well done. I felt like the movie kind of flew through the 2 hours that we were there. And knowing the story from Dracula by Bram Stoker, I know what happens to the ship. But it did kind of keep me engaged because I was curious on how is anyone going to survive? Do they not survive? What happens? And so it did keep me engaged for the entire time. I'll go ahead and give it the point.
Well, I didn't get bored, but the teenager next to me did, because halfway through the movie, he put in his headphones and cranked up some rap music. So during that whole middle section where there's lots of tension going on, I'm sitting there listening to rap music. So I'll go ahead and give it a point. The final category. This is the bonus round, the rewatch factor. If all three of us give it a point in this category, the movie will get 2 bonus points. So, high stakes. What do you think?
I probably won't watch it again. I mean, like I said, it wasn't a bad movie. However, there was nothing amazing about it that made me think, there's nothing that happened that I want to go back and watch again. There wasn't anything cool. There wasn't any great stories. Yeah, just nothing but a fine movie. Again, if it's on TBS on a Saturday afternoon and The Office isn't on TNT, then yeah, I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm not going to go out of my way to find it.
I would watch it again, actually. If I was sitting here at home and I needed something to watch, especially during Halloween, which is my favorite times of the year, where I just watch horror movie after horror movie. If it comes out on streaming, I would definitely sit down and watch it again. Like I said, it's not a great film, but it was entertaining enough. Yeah, I'd watch it again. So I'll give it the point.
I would not watch it again. It was okay to watch once, but if it is any consolation, I would watch a sequel. All right, so the final score of this film is 9 out of 20. Ooh, that's our worst so far. So we're going to divide that by 2 and give it a score out of 10. 4.5. Mediocre. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and check out, if you haven't seen our full-length review and discussion of the actual plot of the movie, check that video out, and we will see you next time.
I know, like I said, I knew the story of the ship, and I from Dracula by I'm Porky Pig all of a sudden. Start that again.